A very good evening. You're watching India Today going live with me, Nabila Jamal. I'm going to take you through the top stories of the day, a roundup of what's going on, what's taking headlines today. Let me start with India there gearing up for a massive mass vaccination program, which should ideally be starting by January. This is, of course, the most awaited news that we've all been looking forward to. A vaccine, finally a vaccine that will be coming about, that will be rolled out most likely in the month of January. The vaccination drive here will involve frontline workers who will be getting vaccinated. The first phase, the second phase, you have several of those healthcare workers, including the police personnel. They will be inoculated in the second phase, and the third phase, it will be the comorbidities, those with comorbidities, and of course those above the age of 50. These phases are currently being chalked out by the government. They're taking in data, they're putting in entries there of those people who need the vaccine at the earliest. So all this data is currently being jotted down and collated. So here we're looking at the government carrying out a massive vaccination drive, dry run in 4 states, including Punjab, Gujarat, Assam, as well as Andhra Pradesh. The dry run currently is involving those areas where they're checking readiness and preparedness of the teams that have been deployed for vaccination drive. The cold storage facility, is that in place? Are teams there active enough? Are they actually reaching out to those people who need those vaccines? All that, the dry run and the drill is being carried out in these 4 states, and people are quite happy and they're looking forward for this actual vaccination drive to begin across the country. Now, cutting across, here you have the farmers' protest that's been on for 33 days, and the deadlock remains between the government and the centre. Priyanka Gandhi, in fact, has hit out at the centre on the 13th day, the foundation day of the Congress party, this 13th foundation celebration day. In fact, Priyanka Gandhi hit out at the government on the farmers' laws and asking for the farm laws to be quashed. Right at that time, the BJP hit back asking, where is Rahul Gandhi? In fact, reports suggest that Rahul Gandhi has flown abroad. Some reports saying that he's gone to Milan to meet his grandmother who's in Italy. He's meeting her, and this news comes right at a time when the Congress is stepping up its attack against the centre on the new farm laws. So the BJP is saying, if you are really hitting out at the government over farm laws, why are you not serious enough? In fact, the Congress party needs a full-time politician, not someone who flies away and escapes whenever there's an important issue. That's the BJP there hitting out at Rahul Gandhi's abroad visit. He's now visited his grandmother even in the past multiple times, but the Congress, they're saying this is his personal issue. It can't be picked by the BJP, and this should not be the bone of contention. They should be focusing on resolving issues with the farmers and of course quash the farm laws. That's the BJP stance there. This comes even as Randeep Surjewala has admitted that Rahul Gandhi has gone for a visit abroad and he's going to be away for a couple of days. It's for personal reasons. Now, BJP, of course, like I said, hit out at the Congress on their double speak. Remember, the Congress just a few years ago, Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi said that they want the farm reforms to come about and asked for middleman culture to be completely eradicated and for farmers to be enabled, or enable farmers to sell their produce to even corporates so that they can get higher returns or higher price for their produce. Now, the same Congress party chief, Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi, have come around asking for the laws to be completely quashed. So JP Nadda put out old videos of Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi saying that they once asked for these same reforms that we are giving in today, but today, because of the farmers protesting, they're trying to cash in on the political front, trying to gain political brownie points. Now, farmers' protest, like I said, has entered day 33. Farmers are now wanting to meet with the government, the centre. They want to have a dialogue. They've asked for 29th of December as the date. But initial reports suggest that the government is asking for 30th of December to hold talks at 2 p.m. So, but the farmers have also decided that if the talks do not go in their favour, they also have a backup plan. They're asking for investments into the farming sector. And of course, while they intensify their protests, they say that they're going to completely boycott products of corporates. Anything made by the Ambanis or Adanis, they're going to boycott that completely. This is the stance that the farmers have taken. Now, in the meanwhile, at the same time, while the farmers' agitation escalates, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been trying to reach out to the farmers on various platforms. He's been sending out messages through his speeches, asking for the farmers to understand the benefits of these laws. At the same time, he's also come up with multiple initiatives in support and benefit of the farmers. In fact, Prime Minister today flagged off the very important 100 Kisan Rail, which connects Maharashtra to West Bengal, a rail line dedicated for farmers to transport vegetable and fruits. So this is a super fast rail line, which is called the Kisan Rail, which the Prime Minister has inaugurated just this minute. In fact, the Prime Minister has just ended his talk encouraging the railways to come up with Kisan lines to benefit the farmers and transport the produce to different destinations. So this is a multi-commodity train service which will be used to transport commodities, farmers' produce. Prime Minister Modi at the same time has also announced that he's given out 18,000 crores to bank accounts of 9 crore farmers under the PM Kisan Samman Nidhi Yojana. The money has also been given to the farmers. It's been credited to their accounts. So this is another benefit and boost for the farming community, apart from the 3,500 crores subsidies that has been given to the sugarcane farmers per se, particularly. So while at the same time the government is trying to convince the farmers, the centre seems to be rolling out some schemes and initiatives to boost the farming community and also, of course, instill confidence in them that the government is working towards their interest. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, while I speak of the inaugurating the rail line for farmers, let me also tell you today was a very significant day as Prime Minister Modi inaugurated the first driverless train in India. It holds much significance. It has been launched in the Delhi Metro Magenta line. Because why I say this whole significance is because now this pushes India in that elite club of 7% of the world's metros, that just barely 7% of the world's metros that operates driverless trains. So this is a big boost for India, and of course we are coming into smart systems and how this is the first driverless train. By mid of 2021, another driverless train will be launched in the same Delhi line. It's going to be quite exciting, and the metro, this driverless train has no driver, of course, quite naturally as the name suggests. Apart from that, it avoids human errors. It goes into automatic mode completely, where it stops, it's at individual junctions. It opens the doors by its, of course, like every other metro, it has everything automated. But apart from that, it does everything that a human would do without a human presence in that train. More importantly, driving, stopping at certain stations, of course, at the end of the journey, fully completing its journey and halting without human intervention. So it's very interesting, and to facilitate that for people to use it all the more and make it seamless, the government has also launched the National Commodity Mobility Card. This is a card that allows you to use it all metros. It's a one all-purpose card, all India one card. The government has been, in fact, proposing this one nation, one card policy, and this seems to be coming to fore soon enough. And this is the National Common Mobility Card, where you can use this card for any kind of transport across the country. It's also a part of the RuPay system, where many banks give you this RuPay debit card, which is issued in many parts of the country, and this you can use to travel all over. You can also use it as a debit card. So it's interesting now that we have the systems integrated, and it's coming together soon enough. Now, quickly, West Bengal, the situation seems to be heating up as the assembly elections comes closer, political stage heating up. Now you have the CBI accusing the Mamata Banerjee government of being involved in the massive Sarada Chit Fund scam. The allegation by the CBI here is that rupees 6.21 crores was in fact taken from the Chief Minister's Relief Fund, the West Bengal Chief Minister's Relief Fund, and given to Tara TV, which is again its own. Tara TV was owned by the by the Sharda Group, and this money was given to Sahara TV to pay off their employees, the salaries of the employees. So this has now come under scanner, and a big question against it. CBI now asking for Rajiv Kumar, who is a very close aide of Mamata Banerjee, and he was a former police commissioner of West Bengal. His arrest. They say that he must be arrested, he must be interrogated in custody because he has the ability to influence the other witnesses and influence the probe. Of course, Mamata Banerjee government hitting out, saying that this is just a political gimmick and a game that the BJP is playing ahead of the assembly polls because they want to, they want to, of course, influence the CBI and try to probe and influence the election eventually, the assembly election. So this comes, remember, at very crucial time as critics raise the timing of this CBI probe right at a time when West Bengal enters polls in a few months from now. But of course, at the end of it, one can't deny the fact that there are several suspicion about the government's involvement in the Sarada scam. Now, also Sourav Ganguly, the famous cricketer, BCCI chief, his entry into politics, there's a lot of speculation that he might just join the BJP and he might launch himself with the BJP ahead of the West Bengal assembly polls. Now, no confirmed reports on that, but a lot of speculation because Sourav Ganguly met with the governor of Bengal. He did, in fact, he claimed it was just a customary visit, it was just formalities, but a lot of speculation raised whether he's involving or indulging in politics himself. Is he going to take the political plunge? All that questions that's been raised. He met with the governor at the Raj Bhavan. He briefed him about many issues, of course, that only Ganguly can tell us what exactly was the conversation that he had with the governor. But when asked about his political entry, he's remained tight-lipped. He's not said a word. He said he's not going to read too much into all those rumors. Also, Sourav Ganguly shared stage today with Amit Shah at the Feroz Shah Kotla grounds, which is now renamed as Jaitley ground after Arun Jaitley. In fact, a massive statue of Arun Jaitley was also unveiled today on his 68th birth anniversary. Arun Jaitley has been the longest cricket administrator, so therefore in honor of him, a massive statue was unveiled on his birth anniversary, and today many cricketers were seen on that stage, including Ganguly sharing stage with Amit Shah. So this was very significant. Ganguly's entry into politics now a big question mark and speculation doing the rounds. Now, quickly on Rajnikant's announcement of a political entry there, Rajnikant's health is not doing too well. In fact, he was admitted to a hospital, Apollo Hospital in Hyderabad. The doctors have now said that he must take complete rest. There's no way that he can come up, indulge in physical activity. He must keep himself away from any COVID-19 exposure, and 1 week's rest is mandatory, is what the doctors say. Now, Rajnikant has been discharged, but there's still a lot of speculation whether he's going to go about launching his political party as per schedule. The party was scheduled to be launched on the 31st of December, and the name and further details was to be announced around the first or second week of January. Now, with Rajnikant's health being in question, all these plans of his political party launch again, it casts a shadow on it. In the meanwhile, Kamal Haasan has come out to hint about a possible alliance with Rajnikant. There was a lot of speculation whether Rajnikant and Kamal Haasan will come together, the two superstars. But Kamal Haasan today said that, whether we are going to come into an alliance or not, our friendship will always remain. So this somehow gave a hint that they might not just come into an alliance, because Rajnikant's political ideology, he says, is more spiritual, and Kamal Haasan's is more leaning towards the Dravidian side of politics. So for them to come together, it might just be difficult, and Kamal Haasan actually dropped a hint today saying that whether we get together or not, we are still going to remain friends. Also wishing Rajnikant a speedy recovery and saying that health is of primary importance. So this is what has happened on Rajnikant's front. Now let me quickly take you through Maharashtra. In fact, the Maharashtra Enforcement Directorate, has sent out a notice, a summons to Sanjay Raut's wife, Varsha Raut. There's some suspicion of her, in fact, a scanner of her transferring 50 lakh rupees with another PMC bank accused wife. So there seems to be some transaction of 50 lakhs between Sanjay Raut's wife, Varsha Raut, and another lady who is the wife of the PMC bank accused. So this transaction is under scanner. Twice over, a summons was sent to Sanjay Raut's wife, but she did not appear before the summons. This time around, let's hope she does it. It's on the 29th, that's tomorrow, that she has to visit the Enforcement Directorate's office. But Sanjay Raut so far says that they have not received any summons. He in fact mocks at the BJP, saying maybe the ED summons has gone to the BJP office, but we have not received any summons so far. So Rawat there denying and saying that this is political vendetta. A quick word on the cow slaughter bill in Karnataka. Now, there was a lot of contention over this anti-cow slaughter bill. In fact, now today the ordinance has been passed by the government. The state cabinet has passed this ordinance today after much opposition. It was passed in the assembly, but it got stuck. It reached a deadlock at the council, and right after that chaos there. In fact, because it reached a dead end there in the council, they decided that they're going to take the ordinance route. So B.S. Yediyurappa and his cabinet passed this ordinance today. Now they're waiting for the governor's approval for his sign on it so that they can actually implement the anti-cow slaughter bill, which will eventually lead you to 7 years in prison if at all found guilty. If at all you are caught involving in smuggling of cows, illegal transportation or atrocities on cows, you can go up to 7 years in jail and lakhs of rupees in fine. That's that from me. A quick word as I finish here. A big thumbs up to Virat Kohli as he's bagged the Sir Garfield Sobers Award for ICC Male Cricketer of the Decade. And of course, Captain Mahendra Singh Dhoni, former Captain Mahendra Singh Dhoni, won the ICC Spirit of Cricket Award for the decade. So thank you very much for watching. Enjoy your week. This is the week year end where you're finally waiting for the pandemic to end and the vaccination drive to begin. India is going to start that just in January. Many other countries have already begun. India will start in Jan. We're hopefully praying that this pandemic comes to an end. But before that, you make sure that you keep your masks on, be safe, party hard, but safe. Thank you for watching.